All right, today we are talking about OpenClaw. You know, the open source AI agent that absolutely blew up, promising to automate our lives, but also kicking off a massive firestorm about hype, usability, and some truly terrifying security risks.
I mean, that was the hook, right? Jarvis living in a hard drive, that's the dream. The idea of a personal AI assistant running right there on your own machine, proactively managing your digital world 24/7. It's no wonder it captured the imagination of developers everywhere and pretty much sparked a global run on Mac Minis.
But for every one of those amazing success stories, you had someone on Hacker News popping up and saying, "Hold on a second, I smell hype." And that really sets up the central conflict we're digging into today. Is OpenClaw a revolutionary new tool, or is it just a dangerously overhyped project?
Okay, so to really get to the bottom of all this, the excitement on one side and the fear on the other, we first have to look past all the noise and figure out what OpenClaw actually is. So this is the most important part to get. This is not just another chatbot, it's so much more. Think of it as a persistent layer, a brain that sits on top of large language models like Claude or GPT. It has memory, it understands context, and here's the kicker, it has the ability to actually do things on its own. We're talking reading your email, controlling your browser, and even running code completely autonomously.
Now, what's really fascinating here is the project's totally chaotic birth. I mean, just look at this timeline. It burned through 5 different names in just a few months. It started as Werle, changed to Claudus, then Claudebot. Then Anthropic, the company behind Claude, sent a cease and desist letter, so it became Moltbot for about 3 days. And finally, it landed on OpenClaw because the community apparently found Moltbot too hard to say. What a ride.
So the crucial question is, what happens when people actually try to use it? Well, this is where the story just splits into two completely different realities.
And this slide just illustrates that divide perfectly. On one side, you have these mind-bending stories, agents that supposedly started a whole company or planned and booked an entire vacation, even agents that were fixing bugs in code and sending pull requests all by themselves. But on the other side, a wall of pure frustration. People battling failed installations, complaining about it burning through API tokens, calling it way too janky, and saying simple things like a cron job just weren't working.
This comment from a user on Hacker News just hits the nail on the head. It perfectly sums up this idea of the day 2 wall. You know, day 1 is all excitement, you've got Jarvis, but then day 2 hits, the novelty wears off, and the reality sinks in. You're now the full-time system administrator for a powerful and potentially dangerous bot with access to your entire computer. And that's when most people just quietly shut it down.
But you see, the problems with OpenClaw go way, way beyond just being difficult or janky to use. As we're about to see, they quickly get into the realm of being fundamentally dangerous.
And wow, this is where the whole tone of the conversation just shifts dramatically. The risk we're talking about isn't just that the AI might book you the wrong flight, it's that it could be tricked by a malicious website or an email, and then go and steal your private keys or just empty your bank account, all without you ever knowing it was happening.
And this was not a theoretical threat, not at all. A quick scan in early February found over 21,000 OpenClaw servers just left wide open on the internet. That means thousands of users, who were probably totally unaware of the risks, had exposed their entire digital lives to anyone who knew where to look.
Honestly, the architecture itself was a perfect storm of vulnerabilities. Because it connects to everything, a simple prompt injection in an email could give an attacker total control. You could download a malicious community plugin, a skill that was really designed just to steal your credentials. API keys and passwords were found just sitting in plain text files. And key security features, like authentication, were turned off by default. It was a mess.
This response from the creator really gets to the heart of the problem. When people started waving these huge security red flags, the answer was basically, this is a tech preview. It's a hobby. If you want to help, send a pull request. And there it is. A project that was essentially a viral hobby put immense power into users' hands long before any of the foundational security work had even been considered.
So, where does all of this leave us? After digging through all the hype, all the user frustration, and all the legitimate fear, we're left with a pretty stark conflict.
This table really just lays the whole dilemma out in black and white. Every single pro, every feature that makes OpenClaw so exciting and powerful has a direct and really dangerous flip side. Proactive automation can become autonomous destruction. Full control over your data also creates a full access backdoor into your life. And that rapid, amazing, community-driven innovation, that's the very thing that allowed it to become so insecure by design.
Ultimately, OpenClaw has given us a raw, totally unfiltered look at the future of agentic AI. It's powerful, it's chaotic, and it forces every single one of us to ask a very serious question. How much of our digital lives are we really willing to hand over for the promise of a smarter assistant? Is the convenience worth this level of risk? For now, the answer is far from clear.